the truck dispatcher actually do?
Well, let me think about it. We are definitely not baking cakes. We are dispatching trucks. So what does it mean? That means that you are in charge of finding the load that makes sense. So good dispatcher knows operational cost. You need to follow the transit. You need to make sure you dispatch the driver. You need to communicate with the broker to give updates. But the biggest part is to find the next load. So dispatchers are the people who make all the operations kind of going in a logical manner. Picking up, delivering, not getting lost, not sitting without loads. So dispatchers are the most important people in trucking.
What about CDL? Do I need to have a CDL to become a dispatcher, or do I need an experience to become a dispatcher?
Well, you do not need a CDL for sure to be a dispatcher, but to be a pro dispatcher, you do need to have a knowledge about market, knowledge about geography, knowledge about operational costs, different types of trailers. You need to know hours of service. So that means that you need to know rules and regulations. But the biggest thing that dispatcher must have a few skills: multitasking, being organized, and being a great negotiator. If you have those skills, you can be a dispatcher for sure.
About salary, that's the most popular questions everybody wants to know. How much can I make in a week or in a month being a dispatcher?
Well, here we have to break down to two things. Are you going to be a company dispatcher in USA, or you're going to be an independent dispatcher in the USA, or you're going to be a company dispatcher outside of the USA, or you're going to be an independent dispatcher outside of the USA. Totally different numbers. Let's start with the USA. Going to work, let's say, Sam Express, if you manage between 7 to 9 trucks, you cannot manage more than that right now. Well, you're probably getting paid $1,500 per week plus maybe some percentage. After a while, well, that percentage can increase and you can make up to $2,000, $2,500 a week as a pro dispatcher. Again, person who knows what they're doing, person who can manage up to 9, maximum 10 trucks. When you work as an independent dispatcher, now it's a business. It depends how you run the business. You charge percentage. So in the USA nowadays, it's from 5 to 7%. So let's take average, 25,000 even in this market gross per truck. Let's take 5%. There you go, per truck. And you can dispatch as many trucks as you want. But again, as a human, you're not going to be able to dispatch more than 7, 8. So as an independent dispatcher, you're always going to make more money, but you have to know how to run it as a business, because now it's a business. You need to advertise, you need to find them, you need to manage, you need to multitask, and it's going to be different small companies. So it's a little bit extra stress.
Okay, sounds good. What about me? What if I decide to become a dispatcher? How long will it take for me to learn it from scratch?
Well, we are doing our trainings within 6-7 weeks. Before you register to our training, you need to pre-study at least 2-3 weeks. We send a lot of information, PDFs, you have to rewatch videos. You have to go on our YouTube. We have more than 900 videos there with detailed explanation of the process. After you sign up, you're gonna go through live training. So my trainings are live, they're not recorded. Each class is going to be 4.5 hours. It's not easy for some people, but that's when we get the most. I see you, you interact with me, and we are seeing exactly what's going on today. Which roles are we picking up today? How the market's doing. So I'm not just teaching you a theory. I am showing you trucking today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Not trucking 5 years ago, not what might happen in trucking, but exactly what's going on right now. If you're gonna put your mind into it, if you're gonna spend at least an hour a day, you can become a great dispatcher within that time. You're gonna go to any company and they're gonna ask you, do you have experience? After my training, you kind of have more experience than some of the dispatchers nowadays, because you're gonna know how to post the trucks, how to set up paperwork, you're gonna know how to negotiate equipment, you're gonna know the hours of service and all the things that you have to do. So yes, you did not have physical experience, but you have enough knowledge to go and start actually dispatching correct from the beginning.
Okay, what about if I was a safety before and now I decide to become a dispatcher? Will that be quicker for me to learn it, or it still will be the same time frame?
It's still gonna be the same, it's just gonna be easier for you because you're gonna know certain regulations better, but still, dispatching is totally different side of trucking. Another question, usually I hear, well, I'm a driver, why should I go through training? I've already been driving for 15 years. And if you've been watching our reviews, most of the drivers are telling in the end of the class, I thought that I knew how to trucking works, but I did not. So totally different side of transportation.
Okay. And since we live in Chicago area and there is a lot of immigrants coming right now, are you teaching only in English or there is options to learn in other languages?
Well, of course, it's only in English. Unfortunately, how are you going to be able to dispatch if you cannot communicate in English? That's why I'm very strict on this. And some people might not like me, but if you are teaching dispatch in any other language than English, you are simply scamming people because they will not be able to dispatch. And I see it all the time. Some dispatch services, some small companies start teaching them in Russian, Ukrainian, Uzbek, Kyrgyz language. How are they going to be able to even talk to the broker? They will not. So I am against the scams. I am not against competition. I need more people who can teach correct how to dispatch, but do it in English because this is the first thing they need to know. They don't have to have perfect English. We all have accents. Listen to me. My accent is always going to be there. I still do mistakes, especially when I'm excited and I go live on YouTube. But can I communicate? Yes. Can I negotiate? Yes. Can I tell the story on the phone? Yes. So that's what person needs to know. Because to write the letter, nowadays ChatGPT is going to do for you. To make invoice, all other programs. But the real communication in negotiation, if you do not know what they're asking you, how are you gonna find that load? Unless what? There's possibility to go and work for Amazon, click. But I still do not consider Amazon as a dispatcher. It's just the people who connect the dots. And a lot of times, because of the lack of English, they make a lot of mistakes. So, main thing, improve your English a little bit and then sign up. Same with the safety. You were safety before. How the person without English can communicate with a auditor. How can a person write the corrective action plan? I understand you can Google that shit, but to make sense, you need to understand terminology. Still, when audits come, there's negotiations. And if you know English, well, probably they can close their eyes on things. Do you agree?
Of course, since you work in trucking, you always need to speak English.
And let me ask you this, since you used to be a safety manager, do you support or you disagree with English proficiency right now for pro drivers?
Well, that's a really complicated question because I do feel bad for drivers who doesn't speak English and right now they're on the line of losing their CDL. But also, I believe that if you're in USA and if you're driving a truck, you should speak English, at least communicate with police officer when you're being pulled over for duty inspection. Since with my experience, when I had drivers who did not speak any English and he didn't even speak either Ukrainian or Russian, me giving him an orientation was the hardest thing ever. I had to pull truck toys and show him some certain things and it was awful. It was really, really hard. So I do understand police officers who pull over drivers and the driver cannot communicate, how hard for them it is to perform DOT inspection and how hard it is for them to do their job. So basically, if the driver does not speak English, they're making harder job for the officer.
Well, I don't think it's just about the officer. We're talking about pro drivers. We live in USA. Yes, English is not an easy language for some people, but some certain professions, it's a must. Do you want to go and fly the plane with a pilot who does not understand how to talk to their dispatch in English? Probably not. Do you want to go get a surgery from the guy who does not know what the nurse telling him? No. So for me, pro driver, same as a pro dispatcher, the English is a first step. And they can get upset, but again, nowadays we have all the apps. You can spend 20 minutes a day and learn simple questions. What is your name? Where did you pick up? When was your last break? Where are your company? Who is your dispatcher? What do you have in a truck? What is a commodity? So we're not talking about actually reading the Shakespeare to the DOT officer, right? We're not talking about communicating about politics. So basic things, I think I am 100% agree that it should have been enforced from the beginning.
Right, because the driver should not even get a CDL without English. So if he got the CDL and right now all of a sudden the rules are changing and people can lose their jobs all of a sudden, like if you wanted that to be there, that was supposed to be from the very beginning.
Well, that rule was there from the beginning since even earlier than 1983, but it was never enforced. So the rule was minimum criteria, since you were safety, was the driver has to speak, understand, and write in English. He has to be 21 years old and all other criteria, CDL school. So the rule was there, but it was not enforced. So nowadays, I was asking Sam Express, and you guys are offering online classes. You also making sure that now all the drivers are taking tests. So you guys are doing a great job, which all other companies have to do as well. Hopefully, we're gonna see safer roads, and hopefully, we're gonna improve safety overall. And for dispatchers, we are all waiting for $5 per mile, because some people say now, since we're gonna get rid of some drivers, the market's gonna pay. Is it the truth? Guys, market is not gonna switch. So this is just a reality of safety and regulations. So Nastya, do you want to be a dispatcher or do you want to be a blogger?
Of course, blogger.
I guess, guys, do you see she has a skills? She was a safety manager. She was thinking about going to dispatch, but she decided to be a blogger and help other people in trucking and other industries to improve their sales. You have to go for what you have passion for. So that's what I say. If you want to be dispatcher, you can be dispatcher. If you want to bake cakes, you can learn how to bake cakes. If you want to be a blogger, you can become a blogger. Just remember to do what you want to do.
Especially what you love, and if you're passionate about your the things that you do, you're always going to succeed.
Yes, you succeed and you're actually going to enjoy it. That's why a lot of times students ask me, Alex, how can you teach live classes? Because they're 4.5 hours live. And I just teach because I love what I do.
And how many years did you do that?
I started teaching classes 5 years ago.
And how much experience do you have in dispatch?
Overall in trucking since 2013, so over 12. But when I came to trucking, zero knowledge. I made so many mistakes on my own company, and that's why I want to share my knowledge so people don't make those mistakes and they learn from my lessons.
And why did you decide to become, why did you even decide to get into trucking?
Well, I guess I used to be a real estate agent, and then market went down, everybody lost the money, and we decided that let's try trucking. Everybody was buying houses for me. They were truck drivers. And I'm like, wow, trucking must be a great industry. I was mistaken, but I'm a stubborn Ukrainian woman. I started something and I wanted to make sure I succeed. But the biggest regret that I have, not learning about the industry. But back then, even now, there is not enough resources. And that's why our message, Change Trucking through the education, is huge and has impact. Because drivers need to know how to open trucking companies, safety need to know what they're doing, dispatchers need to know what their job is. So they actually help each other instead of getting small carriers out of the business. So education is important. And hopefully we're doing a great job.
I think you do a great job since you have so many students and so many people who's following you on YouTube and watching you. I think that's great what you do, especially if you love it. That's the most important thing. If you love it, then you can teach and you can teach properly. Because if you don't like what you do, then how can you teach others to do it?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, as a teacher, you know what they say. Some people know how to do it, but not everybody can teach. So that's why I do believe I was given this gift of teaching, and that's why I love it. But thank you for being with us, asking the questions, and changing trucking flatter through media, through funny shorts, and sometimes she make me do crazy things. So guys, it's not me, that's her.
It is what it is.
Whatever it takes. Thank you.